Tonight, we gently venture into the mystical world of mythology with the story of the origins of the Myrmidons. This serene tale reveals the deep bonds of loyalty and transformation, as humble ants turn into steadfast warriors under the legendary guidance of Achilles. Rest easy as we explore their symbolic journey, unfolding in the tranquil backdrop of the quiet kingdom of Aegina. Let this soothing narrative carry you away into a realm of wonder and imagination. And now, let the tale unfold. On the serene island of Aegina, Aeacus, the wise and determined king, stood upon a gentle hill, gazing out over his quiet kingdom. The twilight cast a silver hue over the land, mingling with the soft, overcast sky that hinted at a storm brewing in the distance. The sparse fields below stretched out like a quilt of muted grays and blues, revealing a land yearning for the vitality it once held. Aeacus, filled with a deep longing, surveyed his domain, understanding that the sparse population lacked the vigor needed to protect and sustain the kingdom. As Aeacus reflected on his role and the challenges facing him, he acknowledged the dwindling numbers of his people. Once, Aegina thrived with bustling activity, but now, silence echoed across the plains. Each passing season seemed to take a piece of the kingdom's soul, leaving Aeacus yearning for a renewal he felt powerless to summon alone. His heart, both wise and faithful, longed to find a way to revitalize this once vibrant land and fortify it against future adversities. Seeking guidance and support beyond mortal realm capabilities, Aeacus turned his thoughts to the mighty Zeus, the benevolent ruler of the heavens. He conceived a heartfelt prayer, extending his inner hopes and dreams to the divine, hoping the king of gods would hear his plea. Aeacus's silent supplication revealed an unwavering dedication to his kingdom, a desire rooted in loyalty and purpose. Such profound sincerity sometimes called forth the attention of the divine. Amidst the tranquil landscape of Aegina, Zeus heard the call of this faithful king. Slow and deliberate, the sky darkened further, confirming the presence of a celestial force willing to intervene. The atmosphere was charged with a quiet intensity, echoing Aeacus's anticipation. Like the gentle gathering of clouds signaling a summer storm, the air thickened with expectation, holding the promise of Zeus's arrival. Then, within the invisible majesty of the mythic world, Zeus revealed himself to Aeacus. The divine encounter unfurled in a quiet, serene exchange between the two, setting forth a conversation destined to shape the kingdom's future. The king of gods listened as Aeacus laid bare the needs and longing of his kingdom, a small island in the vast mythic sea. Here, amid this quiet dialogue, unity and transformation began to take root. Zeus, recognizing Aeacus's heartfelt yearning and determination, promised his aid with calm assurance. Through careful consideration of Aegina's plight, Zeus offered solutions poised not merely to replenish, but to transform the kingdom. His benevolence held the potential of a multi-generational influence, containing within it the seeds of ant-like strength and discipline awaiting manifestation. Aeacus, capable and wise, understood the depth of this divine promise, grasping its implications and feeling a wave of hope and gratitude. As their exchange drew to a close, the sky above Aegina stirred with anticipation, foreshadowing the divine works soon to unfold. A gathering storm, gentle yet profound, swept across the heavens, casting shadows over the tranquil island. The crescendo of nature hinted at the magnificent, transformational power soon to touch Aeacus's kingdom. A bridge between ordinary vulnerability and extraordinary potential stood ready for passage, guided by the invisible yet observable divine presence. Aeacus, standing vigil upon his hill, watched the sky roll over the island, signaling the first act of a master plan. The gentle rumbling above whispered of unity and transformation, twin themes that would soon weave into the fabric of Aegina's future. And as the storm brewed, Aeacus felt the comforting strength of Zeus's forthcoming intervention, bringing with it the promise of a revitalized kingdom. With the storm brewing overhead, Aeacus felt the powerful presence of Zeus like a steady heartbeat within the storm's tumultuous song. As the clouds released a gentle rain, a calm embraced the landscape of Aegina, highlighting the arrival of divine intervention. The humble ants that traversed the soil seemed insignificant at a glance, yet they caught the careful gaze of Zeus. He observed their persistent march, the cohesion in their movements, and the silent promises they offered of tireless toil and unity. Zeus addressed Aeacus, explaining how in Greek culture, ants symbolized the virtues of diligence and unity. Ants, though small, worked collectively, weaving their efforts into a tapestry of strength and purpose. Aeacus listened intently, understanding the importance of such creatures in a land yearning for rebirth. He acknowledged the profound wisdom in Zeus's words, seeing the potential for transformation mirrored in these tiny beings. It was here that Zeus began to unveil his magnificent plan. With Aeacus scanning the horizon, Zeus spoke of how these humble ants would soon become the beating heart of a new era for Aegina, a transformative rebirth guided by divine hands. Their unity, unmatched in kingdom or empire, would form the basis for the mighty warriors that the land desperately needed. Zeus proposed to use his divine power to create a symphony of change that would reverberate through the ages. Zeus, with an air of anticipation, knelt to lay his celestial hands over the ant hills, the center of a metamorphosis about to unfold. Through his divine energy, the transformation began gradually, revealing a scene of mystical splendor. The ants below started their majestic growth, chosen by Zeus to undertake this journey from minuscule creatures to human warriors with purpose and strength. Under Zeus's watchful eye, the ants began to change in size and shape, their forms stretching and growing in synchronized harmony. The scenery shifted in a dance of transformation, revealing figures that rose slowly, merging from the earth with grace. The bodies transformed, sinews and muscles materializing from the dust, sculpted by divine hands, forging beings of incredible power and unity. Aeacus watched, awestruck, as these ant-shaped warriors emerged, the beginnings of the Myrmidons taking form. What was once a simple, inconspicuous ant hill now stood as a battleground of metamorphosis, revealing the warriors who would soon defend and thrive in Aegina. The Myrmidons ascended from soil to silhouette, bearing the echoes of ants' unity and diligence, transformed by Zeus's promise. In this moment of awe-inspiring revelation, the transformation proved to be more than mere physical change. The Myrmidons carried with them the very essence of loyalty and diligence that characterized their previous existence. They emerged, not mere shadows of human forms, but warriors imbued with unparalleled fidelity and strength. It was clear now how Zeus had envisioned their purpose, a testament to the unyielding spirit of Aegina itself rising through them. As the transformation came to an end, Aeacus could see the warriors poised and ready before him, graced by the light rain that fell. Through Zeus's divine craftsmanship and benevolence, these newly forged Myrmidons embodied the promise of a revitalized kingdom. Standing as proof of profound loyalty and eternal strength, they awaited their integration into Aegina, a land now charged with potential. The tranquility of the moment framed a new beginning, where the Myrmidons born from the earth and ant would become part of a living legacy. As Aeacus gazed over his newly formed warriors, he felt a renewed sense of hope and purpose. The storm that had threatened now whispered promises of prosperity and unity, setting the stage for their integration into the fabric of Aegina. As dawn broke over the island of Aegina, a gentle rain fell upon the earth, cloaked in misty blues and soft grays. The transformation had been completed, and where there had been mere insects, now stood the newly formed Myrmidons, rising from the ground like whispers of life. These warriors were born from the wisdom of Zeus and the determination of Aegis, a testament to divine power and human yearning. Emerging from the sleep of transformation, the Myrmidons found themselves in a grassy field, surrounded by the serene ambience of their birthplace. The first light of day revealed their human features, yet the essence of their previous existence, as ants lingered quietly in their demeanor. Silent and contemplative, they absorbed the world around them, processing the miraculous change that had reshaped their beings. Each movement was deliberate, an echo of their past as diligent workers of the earth, and spoke of their new role in the kingdom. Aegis approached them with an air of reverence and curiosity, closely examining the details of their human forms. He saw potential in their strong builds, keen eyes, and cooperative spirit akin to the unity of ants working tirelessly in their colonies. Aegis, long hopeful for a revitalized kingdom, felt a surge of pride and gratitude as he recognized the fulfillment of his prayers to Zeus. Zeus, observing the scene, explained to Aegis the purpose of these warriors. His voice, like soft thunder, conveyed the wisdom born from eternity. These Myrmidons Zeus began are crafted from the union and dedication of the humble ant. In their transformation lies the strength of cooperation and unity. They stand not only as vanguards for your kingdom, but as symbols of loyalty among men. As the Myrmidons listened, their understanding deepened, instilling in them an unwavering purpose. Despite their newfound humanity, they retained traits reminiscent of their origin. Quietness manifested in their respectful silence, diligence reflected in their attentive posture, and cooperation evident in their seamless synchronicity. These qualities would come to define them in the days to follow. With a sense of solemn duty, Aegis welcomed the Myrmidons, his voice carrying the promise of shelter and belonging. "Welcome, my warriors," he declared. "You are now citizens of Aegina, entrusted with its protection and prosperity. Your existence here is the answer to the kingdom's yearning for strength and unity." The Myrmidons, though silent, conveyed their acceptance through their focused gaze and collective presence. At this moment, Zeus imparted the final wisdom about their duties. He emphasized the importance of unity, not merely as warriors, but as integral members of society. Their role transcended the mere act of defense. It encompassed growth, integrity, and the nurturing of a kingdom with the power of cohesive effort. Thus, the lore of ants, an emblem of relentless endurance and harmony, transformed into the living legacy of the Myrmidons. With newfound purpose and the blessing of Zeus, Aegis prepared to introduce the Myrmidons to the people of Aegina. The citizens would soon witness the remarkable outcome of divine intervention and loyal guardianship. As the gentle rain eased, the dawn sky promised renewal, and the air carried whispers of change with each droplet. A harmonious beginning for the transformed warriors. Under the overcast spring sky, a gentle rain fell over the island of Aegina. The townspeople gathered in the village square, curious whispers filling the air as they awaited Aegis's arrival. The quiet anticipation was tinged with cautious hope, as many wondered what changes the newly risen Myrmidons might bring. Aegis, with Zeus watching discreetly from a distance, stood at the center, preparing to introduce his kingdom's newest members. These remarkable beings who had emerged transformed from humble ants. As the Myrmidons marched into the square, their movements synchronized with the precision of their insect origins. The townspeople gazed in awe. There was a moment of silence, a shared breath, as the townspeople took in the warriors' human forms that still carried an essence of their previous existence. Though their human qualities were evident, the characteristics that made them once ants remained visible in their eyes. Serious, focused, and unwavering dedication. Convincing the citizens of Aegina required more than words. It required action. The Myrmidons began to integrate by participating in daily activities alongside the townspeople. Their diligence was evident in everything they undertook, from weaving baskets to assisting with the harvest. The warriors displayed an intrinsic understanding of hard work and cooperation, much like they had when building complex anthills. Their quiet efficiency and tireless energy soon caught the attention of those who had been skeptical at first, gradually warming to these new companions. To the delight of the townspeople, the Myrmidons demonstrated not only skills, but also virtues. Their humility and consistency reshaped the initial caution into respect and admiration. They aided the blacksmith in forging tools, worked tirelessly in the fields, and even helped maintain the pathways that connected the various enclaves within the kingdom. Their presence marked a rejuvenation of spirit within the community, and whispers of skepticism transformed into notes of approval and acceptance. Aegians began to feel a resonance with the Myrmidons, this silent army whose strength lay in loyalty rather than sheer force. A shared understanding paved the way for unity, as every act of service from the Myrmidons was reciprocated by gestures of gratitude from the townsfolk. Children, at first startled, began to approach the warriors, fascinated by their silent strength. With gentle smiles and patience, the Myrmidons offered to teach them small tasks, further cementing the acceptance that was building within Aegina's heart. Aeacus observed this transformation with humble pride, witnessing the gradual knitting together of a community once fragmented by fear and uncertainty. The integration of the Myrmidons seemed akin to an age-old dance where each step formed a stronger bond within the kingdom's fabric. The Myrmidons, with their unwavering dedication to their new life, began to fill the spaces in the kingdom that needed mending, both physically and spiritually. Aegina's pulse beat stronger with each passing day, and its gardens seemed greener, the fields more fertile, energized by the new life blossoming within the island. From his celestial perch, Zeus watched with the satisfaction of a creator seeing his vision come to fruition. The integration of the Myrmidons was not merely the birth of soldiers, but the nurturing of a unified people under Aeacus's wise leadership. It was a powerful testament to the potential of transformation from the ordinary to the extraordinary embodied by these loyal warriors who now walked among men. As the day's light began to fade, casting long shadows in the village square, a sense of fulfillment and serene peace settled over Aeacus and his people. At the setting of the spring sun, the island of Aegina glistened as if the very land itself expressed gratitude. The townspeople retired to their homes, comforted by the newfound unity and strength within their midst. The Myrmidons stood watchful as sentinels, honoring their commitment to their new roles, ever diligent and silently loyal. As the island night enveloped them, Aeacus turned his gaze towards the horizon, confident that Aegina's future was brighter than ever. The calm island of Aegina was in the midst of a transformation, as the industrious Myrmidons became the heart of its revitalization. Known for their unity and diligence, these warriors adapted quickly from their previous forms as humble ants. They spread through the fields and villages of Aegina, bringing with them unparalleled energy and dedication. Under their watchful hands, the kingdom began to flourish, its pulse growing stronger with each passing day. The once quiet landscape buzzed with activity, signaling a new era for Aeacus's reign. With the Myrmidons' help, trade in Aegina saw an unprecedented increase. Word of their miraculous origin and unwavering virtues spread across Greece, drawing merchants and curious visitors to the island. Goods flowed in, enriching the land and expanding the horizon of Aegina's trade. The Myrmidons, with their relentless drive, facilitated this economic growth by ensuring the smooth operation of various exchanges. Their presence symbolized strength and harmony, attracting allies and bolstering the island's reputation. As skilled cultivators, the Myrmidons helped develop vast, fertile agricultural fields. This increase in productivity provided the kingdom with enough yield to sustain its own population and engage in exchange with neighboring regions. Wheat fields swayed under the gentle summer breezes, offering a bounty that had been unheard of in Aeacus' time. It was their quiet determination and cooperative spirit that transformed Aegina's arid soil into blooming life. Complementing their work in agriculture, the Myrmidons took on the challenge of erecting new buildings and fortifications. Stone by stone, they reinforced the kingdom's defenses, ensuring lasting security against external threats. These constructions stood not only as practical measures, but as symbols of growth and stability. The stronghold and structures they built were testaments to their commitment, serving as both protection and a reminder of their vital role in the realm's rebirth. Aeacus often found himself standing in thoughtful contemplation, reflecting on the incredible transformation his kingdom had undergone. The memory of empty vistas faded, replaced by thriving communities and bustling streets. His heart swelled with gratitude towards Zeus and the tireless warriors who had made this dream a reality. Aegina, which had once struggled in solitude, now thrived in unity and progress, offering Aeacus solace and fulfillment as its king. To celebrate these achievements, the people of Aegina gathered in the main square to honor the Myrmidons, whose contributions had become invaluable. Festive decorations adorned the streets, vibrant colors whispering tales of prosperity. The community joined in song and dance, acknowledging the unity and determination that had brought them to this moment. Laughter and joy echoed through the air, resonating with the heartbeats of all those present. A festival was held in the Myrmidons' honor, serving as a bridge that strengthened the bonds between them and the island's inhabitants. The event was not only a celebration of the warriors' feats, but a testament to what could be achieved when unity and strength were embraced. During this festival, the community's spirits soared, as citizens praised the Myrmidons for their dedication and tireless efforts. Old and young alike joined in, realizing that the kingdom's flourishing was a shared victory. As the celebrations drew to a close, prayers and dedications to Zeus were offered, expressing gratitude for the divine intervention that had blessed Aegina. The island's newfound prosperity was a reflection of Zeus's wisdom and guidance in Aeacus' time of need. Through prayers, the community hoped to convey their appreciation for the transformation bestowed upon them and for the future that awaited. This collective act of devotion united the hearts of the people, offering them assurance in the benevolent deity's watchful presence. Thus, under the mesmerizing skies of Aegina, as rain lightly drizzled over a celebratory crowd, the kingdom experienced its moment of profound growth. The festival not only celebrated achievements but also marked a turning point for the Myrmidons and the island. With this newfound strength, Aeacus looked forward to a future ripe with promise, laying the foundation for the introduction of Achilles, who would lead the Myrmidons into a legacy of loyalty and honor. Under the gentle rain that kissed the earth, the fabled figure of Achilles descended upon the island of Aegina. Known throughout Greece for his unmatched prowess in battle, he came not merely as a famed warrior, but as a beacon of leadership. As he approached the training grounds, the Myrmidons moved with a precision and harmony that was almost musical in its rhythm. Their every action reflected the transformation they had undergone from the laborious ants to the disciplined soldiers they now were, their identity a testament to unity and resilience under Zeus's divine touch. Aeacus, with wisdom evident in his eyes, observed Achilles' arrival. He understood that this moment marked a new chapter for Aegina and its defenders. The king met with Achilles, discussing the future leadership of the Myrmidons. Aeacus spoke of the need for a guiding hand that could harness the latent potential and indomitable spirit within these warriors. Achilles listened, his demeanor composed and respectful, drawing strength from his past and the destiny that lay before him. Demonstrating his skills was natural for Achilles, yet he did so with a grace that transcended mere combat. His movements, precise and fluid, left an indelible impression on the Myrmidons. They began to see in him not just a warrior, but a leader whose charisma and valor inspired. The silent respect that blossomed between them spoke of bonds forming stronger than any forged in the heat of battle, a connection of purpose and shared destiny. Humbled by the responsibility and trust being vouchsafed to him, Achilles learned from Aeacus about the Myrmidons' unique origins, of Zeus's role in their transcendence. He contemplated the narrative of beings born from harmony and diligence, understanding that his role was not to dominate, but to guide them to their rightful legacy. With humility, Achilles accepted the mantle of leadership, recognizing the profound nature of his charge. The official announcement of Achilles as the leader of the Myrmidons was a moment resonating with solemnity and hope. Aeacus, proud yet aware of the weight of his decision, introduced Achilles to the people, speaking of the warrior's noble attributes and his suitability to lead. The crowd gathered under the rain-filled sky, their eyes watching, their hearts believing in the new journey upon which their city embarked. From the lofty heights of Olympus, Zeus gazed down at the scene below with a silent nod of approval. His gifts had borne fruit in ways both anticipated and unexpected. He saw in Achilles the strength to unite and inspire, the ability to lead by example, and the wisdom to honor the legacy of transformation he himself had facilitated. As dusk fell and the rain continued its gentle descent upon the land, Achilles stood beside the Myrmidons. Their eyes fixed forward, he shared a moment of silent accord with these warriors. It was a defining scene of unity sealed beneath the heavens, with whispers of Aegina's journey beyond its shores beginning to stir in the hearts of its people. The mythic tale of the Myrmidons, under the leadership of Achilles, awaited its next chapter, a tale that would see them rise to challenges beyond the familiar terrain of home, with a leader destined to guide them through the annals of Greek myth and history. On the island of Aegina, under an overcast autumn sky, Achilles stood resolutely on the training grounds. He observed the Myrmidons, who assembled in disciplined lines, their eyes reflecting a deep-seated loyalty and eagerness to learn. These warriors, once humble ants transformed by the will of Zeus, now awaited the guidance of their revered leader. Achilles, with his commanding presence, stepped forward to train this formidable group, beginning a rigorous regimen that would hone their skills and precision. Achilles introduced a structured regimen, emphasizing the importance of discipline. He believed that the foundation of any strong army lay in their training, and so he instilled a routine that blended strength with agility, strategy with execution. Each day began with exercises designed to build endurance, followed by sessions where they practiced synchronized movements. The Myrmidons, with their inherent qualities of unity and cooperation, adapted swiftly to this new structure, their formation tight and efficient under Achilles' watchful eye. The Myrmidons demonstrated their dedication through long hours on the training field. Their bodies moved as one, responding seamlessly to commands with a precision that echoed their past lives as ants. Achilles complemented their diligence by introducing new tactics suited to both offense and defense, expanding their repertoire. Strategies were crafted with meticulous care, focusing on battlefield scenarios that demanded quick thinking and cohesive action. As the days passed, Achilles found himself impressed by their progress and adaptability, witnessing the transformation from inexperienced warriors to a disciplined force. Throughout these sessions, the bond between Achilles and the Myrmidons deepened. He shared stories of legendary battles, imparting wisdom on the virtues of courage and loyalty. In doing so, he fostered a sense of purpose and pride amongst the Myrmidons. They began to view Achilles not only as a mentor, but as a leader worthy of their unwavering allegiance. This relationship grew stronger with each passing day, grounded in mutual respect and an understanding of the shared destiny that tied them together. Aeacus, watching from the sidelines, could not help but feel a great sense of pride in the unfoldings before him. His vision of transforming the kingdom had taken root and flourished beyond his expectations. Under Achilles' adept leadership, the Myrmidons displayed the very essence of what Aeacus had hoped for, an embodiment of unity and strength, born from their origins yet reaching new heights. The king's heart swelled with gratitude to Zeus, whose divine intervention made this possible, setting the stage for a prosperous future. Amidst the rigorous training, Achilles and the Myrmidons began contemplating their role in the wider world. Conversations turned toward potential campaigns as they understood their readiness to face challenges beyond the shores of Aegina. Achilles, with his charismatic and strategic mind, sketched plans for future endeavors. He envisioned the Myrmidons contributing significantly to the glory of Greece, their disciplined ranks acting as an indomitable force wherever needed. The notion of participating in legendary battles stirred excitement and determination within the Myrmidons, who eagerly anticipated the call to arms. Thus, the training grounds of Aegina became a cradle of preparation and growth. Under the leaden sky, the clang of weapons and the rhythmic shouts of drills echoed through the air, harmonizing with the steady rhythm of the Myrmidons' hearts. They were warriors not only in form but in spirit, embodying the ideals of transformation and loyalty that had brought them to life. Their journey, once etched in humble beginnings, now seemed poised on the brink of legendary exploits. As the chapter of training drew to a close, the Myrmidons stood ready, their resolve fortified by Achilles' leadership and Aeacus' vision. They were eager to fulfill their purpose, undaunted by the challenges that lay ahead. The future beckoned with promises of battles yet to be fought and victories yet to be claimed, whispering the ancient tales that would one day be inscribed in the annals of history. The Myrmidons, having entrenched themselves in the daily life of Aegina, emerged as more than just legendary warriors. They became pillars of inspiration for the citizens, offering not only military protection, but a newfound sense of purpose and unity. Aeacus saw the admiration in the eyes of his people, watching as they rallied behind these disciplined figures. The presence of the Myrmidons in the marketplace, the fields, and even the humble gatherings instilled a quiet determination and a collective pride among the people of Aegina. The Myrmidons further integrated into society by participating in Aegina's cultural activities, bridging the gap between warriors and citizens. It was not uncommon to see them taking part in religious ceremonies, their formidable frames gentle and respectful in the community dances and feasts. Their involvement seeped into the very fabric of everyday life, as they shared stories, listened to local lore, and learned from the island's heritage. This mutual exchange of cultural legacy and shared experiences enriched both the Myrmidons and the Aeginatans, reinforcing their bond. Beyond the shores of Aegina, the fame of the Myrmidons spread far and wide. Their incredible transformation from humble ants to revered warriors and their role as unifiers under Achilles sparked stories in distant lands. Greek states, looking to strengthen their own communities, found inspiration in this unusual yet profound story of unity and transformation. The Myrmidons' tale wasn't merely about arching bows or flashing swords. It symbolized the strength found in loyalty and the power of a united front. Aeacus, wise and aware of the immeasurable impact of stories on the minds of the people, often recounted the Myrmidons' origins and their attributed values. He spoke of them not only as stalwart defenders, but as living examples of loyalty, hard work, and profound transformation. These tales served as lessons to young and old alike, encouraging them to embody the virtues symbolized by the Myrmidons in every facet of their lives. In schools and forums, their legend became a parable, teaching valuable lessons through generations. The island of Aegina flourished under this newfound harmony. Known across Greece for its harmony and strength, it stood as a beacon of what could be achieved through collaboration and mutual respect. The Myrmidons' steadfast commitment to their values acted as a cornerstone for the city's thriving community. With each passing day, Aegina's influence expanded, moving from a once quiet island to a place of learning and leadership. The Myrmidons maintained their principles, discipline, unity, and loyalty through every aspect of their lives. Whether training in the fields or walking alongside citizens in the bustling markets, they remained symbols of integrity. Through sunlit days and misty nights, they upheld the values instilled in them by the earth, and Zeus himself, becoming an everlasting emblem of what stood for strength in simplicity. Scenes of societal harmony, with the Myrmidons at its centerpiece, played out in Aegina's streets. Citizens marched alongside these guardians in festivals, laughed and engaged with them during communal gatherings, and worked side by side in fields and workshops. Together, they painted a picture of a society where cohesion thrived and where legacies of stone and myth intertwined seamlessly with everyday life. It was a society invigorated by the quiet strength of its people and the legendary roots that nourished them. From his celestial throne on Olympus, Zeus watched over Aegina with paternal pride. He marveled at the transformation he had initiated with a simple gesture, admiring how the island had grown in unity and strength. The Myrmidons had not only fulfilled their purpose, but had also exceeded it, becoming symbols of a story that demonstrated the power of unity. Their influence was a testament to Zeus's wisdom and Aegis's determination. As twilight descended upon the island, wrapping Aegina in the soft hues of blue and gray, a gentle assurance settled over the land. For the Myrmidons, their journey was far from over. They stood as a testament to the profound and quiet strength born from unity, readying themselves for challenges yet to come. In the calm of the island, a hum of anticipation hung in the air, whispering promises of adventures beyond its tranquil shores. In the serene yet charged atmosphere of the council hall on Aegina, Aeacus and Achilles stood together, peering over a large table adorned with maps and scrolls. This was not a time for idle contemplation, but for strategic planning and embracing the call that echoed from the fringes of their kingdom. The Myrmidons, whose origins were deeply embedded in both legend and reality, had become a symbol of strength and unity, not only in Aegina, but throughout Greece. Now, the time had come for them to consider venturing beyond the island, to offer their disciplined might to new causes. The conversations between Aeacus and Achilles were robust and insightful. As they discussed potential alliances with other regions, the realities of leaving the haven of Aegina for the uncertainties of distant territories became evident. Aeacus, with his sage wisdom, spoke of the importance of choosing allies with shared values, emphasizing unity and purpose, just as the Myrmidons embodied. Achilles, ever the charismatic and strategic leader, acknowledged these insights, contemplating how best to lure us into wider conflicts that could shape the landscape of the Greek world. Preparing for this endeavor required the Myrmidons to adjust their sight from the comfort of familiarity to the challenges that lay beyond Aegina's shores. In addition to their rigorous training, they engaged in thoughtful preparations, ensuring that their minds were as sharp as their newly forged spears. Each Myrmidon, in silent reflection, understood the significance of this journey, not just as individual warriors, but as members of a transformative force. The spirit of the ants, which had once been their form, urged them to remain hardworking and united. Messages soon arrived from other Greek leaders, their seals bearing signs of urgency and requests for alliances. These letters, dispatched with haste and hope, were full of admiration for the Myrmidons' reputation. Achilles read each carefully, weighing the expectations against the capabilities of his men. Though the allure of joining legendary battles was strong, Achilles knew that upholding the principles of loyalty and unity was paramount. The decisions he and Aeacus would make were not merely tactical but moral, forging a path for the Myrmidons that would honor their divine origin. As Achilles contemplated the greater implications of joining these conflicts, he considered the moral and ethical duties that accompanied such decisions. To move beyond Aegina was to step into a world full of unpredictable allegiances and complex dynamics. Achilles understood that for the Myrmidons, loyalty did not just mean commitment to the battlefield, but also to the ideals they represented. His role as their leader was to ensure that these ideals were never compromised, regardless of the temptations of glory and power. The Myrmidons, meanwhile, stood ready, their discipline unwavering. Through daily drills and communal gatherings, they reinforced their solidarity and preparedness. Their quiet resilience was emblematic of their character. Each warrior knew that the bonds forged in training were the foundation for success in distant, yet-to-be-seen battles. As the day of departure approached, the warriors of Aegina had full faith in their abilities and in the leadership of Achilles, a trust untainted by fear or doubt. Plans were carefully laid out for the impending travel. With a mixture of anticipation and resolve, farewells were exchanged among the citizens of Aegina and the Myrmidons. Aeacus, with the benevolence befitting a king, blessed his warriors on their journey. His words spoke to the heart of the Myrmidons' mission, carrying the spirit of Aegina wherever their path might lead, embodying the lessons of loyalty, transformation, and solidarity. The city, which had become their nurturer and home, stood ready to support them even from afar. In solemn assembly, the Myrmidons prepared to set their sights on broader horizons. Each step they took was one toward destiny, a path laid by the hands of the gods and shaped by their sheer will and determination. The journey to unknown regions was not merely for conquest, but for contributing their strength to greater causes, an unspoken vow to honor Zeus and Aeacus's faith in them. Inspired and ready, the Myrmidons glanced one last time at the familiar skyline of Aegina before venturing into the unfolding saga that awaited beyond the tranquil island. With resolute hearts, they marched forward, leaving behind a small island known for its extraordinary transformation, a place of humble origins where legends were born. As they disappeared into the horizon, the promise of new tales, driven by loyalty and courage, lay ahead. The Myrmidons were no longer just a creation of divine intervention. They had become the harbinger of change, ready to inscribe their story across the wide tapestry of Greece. The Myrmidons, led by the charismatic Achilles, embarked on a journey that expanded far beyond the shores of their serene homeland Aegina. As they reached their destined location, the encampment of other Greek warriors, a world of intrigue and camaraderie awaited them. The camp was alive with activity. Warriors of varied prowess and celebrated heritage prepared and strategized for the battles that lay ahead. Under a dusky sky tinged with a soft drizzle, strategic tents dotted the landscape, serving as hubs for the exchange of wisdom, tactics, and alliances. The arrival of the Myrmidons sparked curiosity among the assembled heroes. Achilles, with his commanding presence, introduced the Myrmidons to allies, speaking of their remarkable origins and unwavering loyalty. The Myrmidons stood as a testament to transformation, former ants, now formidable warriors known for their unity and strength. As Achilles shared their story, admiration flowed, from silent nods of recognition to whispered conversations among the other warriors. Forming alliances was essential in the bid for victory, and Achilles, known not only for his might, but also for his diplomatic skill, facilitated the beginnings of these connections. Basic camaraderie slowly took root between the different factions. Conversations spilled from the tented strategy meetings into communal mealtimes, where laughter mingled with the rich aroma of shared bread and wine. The Myrmidons, through the strength of their character and deeds, began to forge bonds with their fellow warriors, unified by common purpose. The Myrmidons soon had their prowess tested through demonstrations of skill and discipline. Their fluid movement and silent coordination during mock exercises impressed their allies, reinforcing the tales of their unparalleled loyalty. From defense formations resilient as granite walls, to offensive maneuvers swift as the coastal winds, These displays showcased their readiness for the challenges ahead. Their abilities were not just in the strength of their arms, but in their minds, a strategic finesse born from diligent practice under Achilles' tutelage. As the encampment hummed with preparation, murmurs of upcoming legendary battles wove through the air like threads of destiny. Prominent leaders within the camp gathered, maps splayed before them, their discussions colored with a sense of urgency and anticipation. Achilles, in concert with these leaders, began to map out comprehensive strategies. His insights and authoritative voice added depth to the collective vision, infusing their plans with the precision worthy of the Myrmidons' reputation. The Myrmidons' steadfast loyalty became the thread binding these plans, and their reputation spread swiftly through the camp. Tales of their dedication reached far beyond the encampment, whispering through the ranks and leaving an indelible mark on the spirits of others. Their story served as an emblem of what could be achieved through unity, a symbol inspiring warriors to strive for greatness. In this calm yet charged atmosphere, the Myrmidons prepared themselves for the legendary battles that were fast approaching. Each warrior felt the weight of what was to come, yet they were buoyed by the resonance of their shared purpose. As the encampment settled into the rhythm of its nightly rituals, light rain pitter-pattering against the tents, a resolve strengthened within the Myrmidons, driving them forward with an unwavering sense of duty. Thus, the evening faded into night, but the promise of what the Myrmidons could achieve remained undimmed, slated to unfold with the new dawn. Their journey carried on, as the path ahead promised encounters that would test their mettle and forge alliances that might change the course of history. In the coming days, they were destined to leave marks on the tapestry of myth and legend, inscribed with the quiet strength that had been their foundation since their miraculous transformation. Under the stormy autumn sky, the battlefield came alive with the rhythmic pulse of war drums and the clashing of shields. Achilles, now at the helm, led the Myrmidons into battle for the first time. His commanding presence and unwavering resolve infused the warriors with a sense of purpose and invulnerability. As the Myrmidons followed closely behind their leader, their formation was flawless, a testament to the rigorous training they had undergone and the deep bond they shared with Achilles. In the midst of chaos, the Myrmidons' discipline and unity stood out prominently. Unlike many factions overwhelmed by the unpredictability of warfare, they moved as if guided by a single collective mind. Their synchronization illustrated the transformation from humble ants to extraordinary warriors. Even when faced with the enemy's fervent attacks, the Myrmidons maintained their composure, relying on strategic finesse over brute strength. Their efforts complemented Achilles' tactics, weaving a seamless tapestry of offense and defense. Achilles, ever the embodiment of bravery and skill, maneuvered through the battlefield with remarkable dexterity. His spear flew with precision, each strike calculated and effective. He rallied his men not through loud proclamations, but through sheer prowess and quiet strength. Other factions' heroes, witnessing Achilles' gallant tactics, held him in high regard. His leadership was not just assertive, it was inspiring, bringing out the very best in the Myrmidons, who matched his movements with unfailing loyalty. As the battle unfolded, tales of the Myrmidons' prowess began circulating among the warriors. Their cooperative fighting style and unyielding dedication were examples of valor rarely seen in such dire times. Crowds of allies and foes alike took note of their effectiveness, influenced by the harmonious way they supported one another and responded to commands. Achilles' leadership was increasingly recognized, a pivotal force driven by his symbiotic bond with the Myrmidons. The conclusion of the battle left the warriors with a sense of triumph and achievement. While the echoes of clashing steel quieted, stories of heroism and unity emerged on the wind. The Myrmidons, whose performance had surpassed expectations, returned to their camp, their minds filled with reflections on their contributions. Their courage and resolve had not only enhanced the battle's outcome, but had also cemented their reputation as unyielding loyalists with a unique strategic prowess. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the campsite, the Myrmidons gathered to recount their experiences. Discussions revolved around their tactical maneuvers, the unwavering leadership of Achilles, and the lessons learned amidst tumultuous confrontations. These moments were valuable for reinforcing their camaraderie and preparing for challenges that lay ahead. As night descended, wrapping the camp in a blanket of tranquility, thoughts turned towards the future implications for Aegina and beyond. The victories they had secured paved paths to further alliances and opportunities, extending the legacy of loyalty and transformation that the Myrmidons embodied. It was a pivotal chapter in their saga, marking a transition into a new phase of unity and strength. As twilight descended upon the Greek camp, casting gentle hues of soft blues and twilight purples against the sky, the Myrmidons sat together in reflection. They had been acknowledged as exemplary warriors, the embodiment of strength and unity. Known throughout the Greek world, their reputation was one of loyalty and skill, honed by the wisdom imparted by their exceptional leader, Achilles. Achilles, standing beside them, contemplated the journey they had embarked upon. From their mysterious origins on the island of Aegina as humble ants, transformed by the divine touch of Zeus, they had risen to become forces of unity and courage. Achilles reflected on how far they had come, their loyalty unwavering, their bond with him deepened through shared struggles and triumphs. Their journey was not just a tale of battles, but one of evolution and shared purpose. Messages began arriving from Aegina, carrying tales of prosperity and support, the kingdom thriving with the contributions of its quiet warriors. The Myrmidons listened as Achilles elaborated on potential future collaborations with leaders throughout Greece. They had proven themselves as allies, not just in warfare, but as participants in the broader tapestry of Greek society. Their unity and discipline remained their greatest strengths, exemplified in moments of success and adversity alike. The Greek leaders recognized their value and spoke of future alliances, opening opportunities for the Myrmidons to further their legacy across the lands. Tales of the Myrmidons' loyalty began to echo across Greece, transforming into stories that would be shared for generations. The imagery of warriors emerging from the soil of Aegina, disciplined and cooperative, resonated with many. Their story became a lesson in transformation, underscoring the symbolism of unity and infusing Greek culture with new vitality. Kings and warriors spoke of their feats, inspiring others to adhere to the virtues and values embodied by these noble fighters. As Achilles observed his warriors, he reflected on the bonds they had formed. It was more than leadership. It was camaraderie, a union forged in the fires of necessity and nurtured through mutual respect. The Myrmidons' loyalty to him was not just due to his command, but was born from the shared experiences that had intertwined their fates. Zeus, watching from Olympus, silently rejoiced in the achievements of his creations. The divine act of transformation had blossomed into something monumental, extending beyond Aegina and embedding itself into the essence of Greek heroism. The enduring loyalty and unity of the Myrmidons became a celebrated narrative within the tapestry of Greek mythology. They were not just warriors. They were symbols of what could be achieved when transformation and unity aligned with purpose. As their flickering campfire cast shadows against a misty horizon, Achilles and his warriors knew their journey was far from over, their story not yet complete. Yet, in this moment, serenity enveloped them, a gentle reminder of their roots and the strength found in simplicity. Thus, as the night settled in, the Myrmidons, with Achilles beside them, immersed themselves in the calm of their surroundings. Their journey, marked by numerous trials and triumphs, was a testament to the power of transformation and the bond of loyalty. The story of the Myrmidons served as a peaceful closure to their current chapter, with an everlasting promise for the future. Though new challenges awaited them at dawn, they embraced the hope, ready to continue embodying courage and unity in the chapters yet to unfold.